What's going on, guys? This is my 2012 MINI Cooper S, and today I'm going to show you the install process for these Gen 4 style taillights. These are from Archaic Global. They're pretty awesome, and yeah, we'll run through the install steps. It's really easy. You need two tools, but excited to show you and show them off a little bit. My name's Noah, and welcome to Garage 70. And then you're only going to need two tools, really, to do this install. I have a couple options laid out here, but really only two things. So the first is a T20 Torx socket. You can also use a Torx screwdriver. Most of these little bits kits will come with a T20 as well. Today I'm going to be using my electric ratchet. And then you just need some trim removal tools. These are two different ones that I have on hand, and I'll show you some tricks for getting the trim off. It's pretty easy. So here's a look at what we're swapping out and what's going in. So what's coming out, I had these, these are Blackline LCI taillights, and then these are the Archaic 4th-Gen style lights. These are pretty cool. They have a couple different designs you can choose from in the app, which we will go over later. They're completely plug and play. They work on LCI and pre-LCI cars, and completely reversible. I've been running these for a couple weeks. They've been pretty cool, and decided I wanted to throw a video together and show you just how easy this install is. So let's go ahead and get these in. Okay, so first things first, we got to remove the trim. It's either black or chrome. I find the easiest way to do this is with one of these trim tools, and coming in from the taillight, between the taillight and the trim is clipped onto the taillight. So you're trying to separate the trim piece away from the taillight and just work your way around. You can use some masking tape if you're worried about scratching up the lens of the taillight, but these plastic things should be gentle enough. You'll just go around and pop it off, and there's one left, and there it goes. All right, next, grab your torque driver or socket set or whatever you're going to use, and we're going to remove 3 T20 screws. There's one at the top, and then one on each side at the bottom. That one's already been removed. We'll go ahead and pull those out, and I'll show you. The OEM lights have a clip at the bottom, so I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, so with the screws out, I just want to show, this one's already a little bit loose, but there are clips that hold the taillight on the factory taillights at the top and the bottom. So the easiest way to do this is to pull the bottom out first and let it kind of drop. You see it dropped a bit, and then it should come out, no worries. You can see there's one of the clips. There's a similar one on the bottom, and those just hold it to the body. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this, and then I'll show you what we need to do on the Archaic lights before we put them in. Okay, and then before we get these in the car, you'll see on the back of these Archaic lights, we have this switch here. This is for setting whether or not that lower light is used as a brake light or a reverse light. So if you have an LCI car like mine, you'll set this to 0, and if you have pre-LCI, you'll flip this over to 1. Now mine, like I said, is an LCI car, so we'll put that to 0. If you're not familiar with LCI, LCI is a BMW thing. It's life cycle impulse. And basically it's like they make a bunch of changes to wiring, lights, things like that. In terms of this install, the easiest way to tell is if you have a reverse light on the bumper or not. So I have a JCW LCI bumper, and you can see there I have a reverse light down there. On pre-LCI cars, the only lights on the bottom, sometimes there are none, sometimes it's only a fog light or fog lights. And if your reverse light is in your existing taillights, then you'll want to flip that switch over to 1. But just make sure that's set on both of them, and then we'll get them thrown in. Okay, and then all that's really left to do to get this on, I usually start at the top, put the top screw in about halfway, which lets the taillight hang a little bit. You can see there's quite a bit of play. Once it's hanging like this, thread the 2 bottom ones. You want all 3 of them threaded before you tighten any of them. Once they're all threaded, then you can go ahead and go around and tighten them all. There's quite a bit of play, as you can see, so if you tighten the top one, you're not going to be able to get the bottom ones in. So just get all 3 threaded, then get all 3 tightened, and then we'll clip the trim back on, and then I'll go through the app with you. All right, so sorry that we're jumping from horizontal to vertical, whatever, but here's the app you're going to need to control these lights. It's called Happy Lighting. Here's the full name, Happy Lighting. We'll jump in here, and what you'll need to do is in the car, this will only work if the taillights are actually on, so you need to turn the lights on manually, put them in parking lights. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but I've turned them on now, so it's beeping at me. Over on the left, if you go, you should see now my device and Dream D8, D6, that's mine. And then you should be able to go to style on the bottom here, and you can see we got a couple options here. So the first thing you'll see is these modes. So modes 1, 2, and 3 are the only ones that will do anything. There's quite a lot of modes, as you can see, but 1, 2, and 3 change our lighting modes, and I'll show you in the video what those modes are after this little screen recording. But that's changing the design of the taillight, which is always the same, like whether when you're driving or whatever, with the running lights on. I'm not sure that speed or brightness do anything. You can certainly play with it. And then the power button at the top, I'm pretty sure controls whether or not the lights have do a startup animation and whether or not you have sequential taillights. Now, those two things can only be changed together. So if you don't want the startup animation but do want sequential taillights, unfortunately, that's not an option with this particular set of taillights. Anyway, that's just a quick overview of what the app is, what it does. And I'll link to the manufacturer's site as well, and they have some more documentation about the specific options within the app. And that should be about everything. As you can see, I've got them on mode 3. This is my personal preference. I think these taillights look awesome. Completely plug and play, completely reversible. I like that they have some customization as well. Yeah, just cool taillights. Really easy install. Only takes, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes and 2 tools. So, well, thanks for watching. This is my first sort of install video. I know it's pretty basic, but hopefully it helps. And stay tuned for more.